mud on his paw print and stamp it himself.
Officer Adams will speak on behalf of the group. Raise your right hand. I solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of canine officer of Waterford Police Department to the best of my ability.
I don't know about you, but I'll sleep better late knowing I get him out in the community looking out for me.
A beautiful dog.
Again, congratulations, and it's good to have another canine on the department. Next up is the consent agenda. Is there anything on the agenda anybody wants to remove prior to me reading it? Okay, we got August 27th, 2018 meeting minutes, September 4th, 2018 special meeting minutes, September 10th, today, 2018 bill payment, Clerk's Office June 2018 report, District Court's August 2018 report, IT Department's May 2018 report, banner request for Waterford Parks and Recreation, block party permit for Leota Drive, and 5K walk and run permit for Mesa Day Lotus Lakes Association.
I'll make a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda.
Support. Any further discussion? Okay, this,
I'm sorry, who's second?
this involves bill payment, so it'll be a roll call vote.
Birch.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes?
Bartoletta.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Camilleri. Yes. Frasca.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is the board liaison reports. Is there verbal, Tony?
I have something to report with you.
Okay, Steve?
Nothing to report.
Margaret?
Nothing to
We're
report.
on a roll, nothing to report.
Nothing to report?
Nothing to report.
Get out the broom, clean sweep. Okay, next up, your new business, dangerous building hearing, 1761 Scott Lake Road.
Brent, maybe you could move the microphone over to the table for them.
Good evening.
Good evening. Rob Marinsky, Development Services Director, Brent Gibson, Building Official. The purpose of tonight's hearing is to allow the owner, agent, or other vested parties having interest in 1761 Scott Lake Road the opportunity to provide cause as to why the Township Board should not consider enforcing the written decision and order made by the Township's dangerous building officer made at the dangerous building hearing held on July 18th of this year. A copy of that decision and order should be included in your packet for reference and review. In summary, a building can be deemed dangerous if it is found to have any one of the 9 conditions cited in Chapter 4 of the ordinance. Staff determined that the building at 1761 met met 6 out of the 9 conditions, and after hearing all testimony during the hearing officer deemed the building dangerous and ordered its demolition. Notice of the hearing officer's decision was mailed to the owner and posted on site in accordance with the ordinance. The order established deadlines for the owner to commence and complete tasks associated with the order demolition. To date, the owner has failed to comply with any of them, and that is why we're here before you tonight. The owner was notified of this hearing by first-class mail, and the building was posted in accordance with the ordinance. Mr. Gibson and I are prepared to share, if necessary, the presentation that we gave before the dangerous building hearing officer. Otherwise, we will turn it back to you to proceed with the show cause hearing and will remain available for any questions. Thank you.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions prior to these gentlemen speaking here?
I noticed that the earliest notification we have in this packet is from March 28th, 2017. So this is not a new problem, clearly. It's something that has been on your radar for a year and a half.
Most recently, about a year and a half of trying to get something compliant, bring the property in compliance. To be honest with you, if you're looking, I believe the property has been abandoned and vacated for the better part of a decade. The current owner, purchased the property in 2012, and to my knowledge hasn't occupied or had anybody occupy the structure during all that time.
What did the interior inspection of the building reveal?
What it revealed was the interior's been gutted out. There's very little electrical, plumbing, or heating inside. There's standing water in the basement. When you walk in the front door, there's actually, to the immediate right of the front door, there's a stairwell. And the stairwell's open, obviously leads to the basement. The stairwell, there's no sub pump in the basement, so there's standing water. If you were to walk in there while it's dark, you could easily walk into the basement, fall into the open stairwell. But most of the interior has been gutted out with very little plumbing, electrical, mechanical. The exterior foundation is in poor shape. Somebody made an attempt years ago to fix the falling brick on the front of the house. So they shored up and installed a footing underneath the existing brick. That footing is starting to move and separate. The brick is falling off the house. The entire foundation is in poor shape. Needs to be rehabilitated. The home is in poor shape. We've had numerous complaints, court citations, the owner, also Kurt Simpson from Code Enforcement has written tickets to the builder on the condition. We were forced recently to excavate the front of the house. There were some attempts to repair the foundation that was left open. It was dangerous. At a court citation, there was agreement in court that the builder was going to backfill it and clean the exterior of the foundation and the site itself in the spring when it warmed up. That wasn't done, so we had to take care of that on our own. We had a contractor go over and fill the foundation. There was open holes in the front of the foundation. We had that filled up.
Inside the house primarily gutted, were there any demolition permits pulled?
No, not that I know of, no.
How about building permits for the exterior, so you could inspect the footings once they were put in to shore up the existing ones?
There was a permit pulled by the owner. The owner at this time, there were no inspections that were ordered. There's lack of work on the permit, so we actually voided the permit because there were no inspections. No activity, no inspections. Excuse me, but no, there's no work is, actually work has been done on the property that's been inspected by us.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions for Renner? Okay, gentlemen, speak into the microphone, would you please?
I got this house in 2012, and right away I got some people to start this work on it. And I gave them some money and I left due to some health issue. And I was really extremely sick. Now I am okay. The moment I left for treatment, I had to cross to Europe, people stopped working. They took the money and they disappeared. Second time, happened again. I came, I just started working inside the house. Foundation was good, everything looks right, until again I left, people stopped. In my, last year, 2017, I bought all the permits that I was asked by the city to do. I got all the paperwork to go ahead. And I hired like people for plumbing, for electricity, for everything. And these started. The moment I left to Canada, these stopped working. I ended up by getting an engineer salon to be here to act on my behalf, just in case. Until beginning of 2018, I got sick again. I had to fly to Europe to get treatment. And I never received any communication from the city in Canada. None. I just heard now they have sent me something, a recorded mail, like I did not receive anything. I came from London, England, straight to Detroit a few days ago, and I went to the house. I saw a notice not on the door, but before that, a couple of months ago, I heard from engineer Salem to tell me there is an issue with the foundation. After my guy, who started dealing with the insulation outside, he dug around the house and removed some supporting structure that may affect the foundation. Back then, the city came and they saw everything clear, and then they raised a red flag. No, they said the foundation needs to be fixed. Right away, I asked them, what should I do? These asked me, you have to underpin the whole house, because you don't have proper foundation. But this is a Michigan house. Has been sitting there for over 50 years. The problem with the house right now is because the digging that's been done around the house to do the insulation. Okay, but now it's fixable. When I arrived, I found the engineer came to the house and he gave me a report and said the house can be fixed. Shall I pass it over? And with picture with everything. Before I asked the city to give me what should I do with the foundation, they said no, you have to do, but give me something in writing. They do give me something in writing. So I had to go to an engineer and they give me the outline what needs to be done to fix the house. Plus we got the permit for the electricity, the permit for the plumbing, a permit for fixing the interior things for the house. The house is right now is dry from inside. The basement is dry. The problem with the water inside the house was due to some leak coming from somewhere from the side, and we are working on it. But now we cannot do anything until we get that okay to start again.
So I have a question from your engineer's report. It says the house is a ranch, common residential one-story wooden structure with a pitched roof and has no basement.
It is a small basement, like as I mentioned, basement it's not a basement, but it's just something for that furnace and heater and stuff.
Like a mechanical pit.
Yeah. It's basically the size of a big room.
Is that a basement?
This basement, some stairs, two basements.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I thought.
Partial basement or the entire house?
Partial.
Partial basement, okay. Parts of slab, partial crawl, what is it?
Yes, parts of slab, parts of crawl. That portion was actually on a footing, was an addition at a later date.
Okay.
And parts of it, 3/4 of it is a slab.
So I'm kind of questioning this gentleman's credentials if he doesn't recognize if there's a basement.
I think in the report he said he didn't have access. When he went there, he didn't call me to go open the door for him, so he didn't see the basement.
Oh, so this report is only with an exterior inspection?
Only exteriors, it's dealing only with the foundation. But this guy is very high credential. He has PhD in structural engineering.
And how long have you been doing the oversight of this job?
Who?
Yourself.
Myself, about a year and a half.
You've been doing the oversight of this job for a year and a half.
Yeah, I am, I paid twice the penalty, $250, because of there's a concrete block over there. I was cited twice there, and he wasn't available. He was in Europe. I couldn't reach him, so I was paying from my pocket until he showed up 2-3 days ago. So I've never been to the house for like maybe 2 months, 3 months. I was twice taken to the court because of this concrete block that was, they said the appearance of the concrete block is there are people going to the pool. And I was cited twice for that. Even one time I couldn't come because I had a meeting at the same time, and they tried to arrest me. They have I called the court to say I cannot attend. The clerk told me, okay, you can come next day. When I went next day to the court, the judge told me, oh, you are lucky you came now, otherwise I would issue a warrant for arrest for you.
When did you guys post the house? He said he had no information about this until just recently. When did you guys post the house? July 18th, July 19th?
Specific to the dangerous building hearing before the hearing officer, we posted it at least 10 days before July 18th.
Okay.
Both sent it regular mail to the address here in Waterford, and certified and regular mail to the address that was given or we have for the owner.
Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, okay. No.
Yes.
Where would tax notices be sent? The same address?
In Canada, yes.
Yeah,
And taxes are paid?
I pay, yeah.
But you never received the other notice?
I never received anything from the city.
But you get the tax bills?
The tax goes to the house, yeah.
But again, that's what I'm just saying, and the reason I'm asking, he's hired you to do the construction oversight of the job, but you're not checking the job for 2 or 3 months, so there's,
Nothing to do there.
And
I understand, but
the problem is we were looking for a good contractor to do the work. I paid someone before and he disappeared. Now I found another new company, hopefully sitting right here, Chris. He will start the job as soon as tomorrow, once you give me the approval.
oh, you still have to go permits and stuff. You
Yeah,
can't-
I will start from tomorrow.
Right, but again, but I'm just saying, you didn't get it in the mail, we posted it, but you didn't have anybody checking the jobs, you don't have any notification, but we did send it to the address where your tax bills go to. Hold on, let me finish. We sent it to the address that your tax bills go to, you get your tax bill, to your tax return, but you didn't receive that notice in the mail, and then we did post the job at least 10 days before July 18th, so let's just say July 8th, and since July 8th, the person you got doing the oversight of the job, because there's nothing to see over there, never goes by and checks the job, but that's not our fault. We did what we're required to do.
I have been following up on this house and in touch with Salim to find a good company to do the work to satisfy the city requirements. And it is really difficult here to find a trustable company to do the work. Some companies, they give us like sky, just prices equal to hundreds of thousands of dollars. But now I found a good, nice, reasonable company. Hopefully, once I get the permit, we will start as soon as this week. Once I will get the permit, second day we will start working.
Okay.
And one more thing, because when I was extremely ill, I did not find treatment for me in Canada. I had to fly to you a few times, but I'm okay now, I guess. And I'm really lucky if I could not come here this week. I mean, I don't know. No one will inform me. I mean, he will go ahead and demolish the house. That's why I did not receive anything, because I am in Europe. Because this is registered mail, and I want to receive the mail from you over there. If it is registered, it should be returned to you. And I'm sure it was returned.
Did the certified letters to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan come back?
They came back, yes.
They did come back, okay.
I mean, this is what happened usually. If I was there to sign for something, it needs to return to you, to sender.
We sent both certified and regular mail, but anything going on in the country is not going to be certified, so that's the reason why we sent both
Okay,
methods.
okay.
To be specific, we sent out a notice of commencement of dangerous building proceedings on 6/7/2018. And then the notice, which you're copied as part of the dangerous building hearing officer's order that was sent out. It was sent out on June 11th, 2018 for the July 18th hearing.
Sorry to interrupt. Around that time I was in Europe and went there to receive the mail. Only the regular mail that go to my mailbox and they will stay there until I go back to Canada.
Including your tax bill?
Everything stay, but I usually check my tax online. Even just in general, I check how much I have to pay and I go online and I make the payment wherever I am. But I'm here now and I will make sure everything just to get everything done in no time.
Okay, now, and again, you said you can start tomorrow, and I got some more questions. I'm supposed to be up here answering questions, but I'm into, you got all your construction plans in place, ready to go?
Yes.
All your plans are in place?
Yeah.
Okay. And permit, you talk to pick up your permit application, get that filled out?
Do I need a new permit to do the foundation?
The other permit
The other
was,
permit is null and void. You need,
no, but you need the
So I
permit.
need to come back.
if the board so deems it.
So I have to pull and the new permits for everything again.
Yeah, who's pulling the permits?
Okay. Again,
Who's pulling the permits? You're the general contractor?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Have other permits been pulled for the other work that
Yeah.
they started in the past?
For electricity, they started and the city didn't like the work. Plumbing, they started and the city didn't like the work. So people took the money and it disappeared. I have to find other plumber and I have to find another electrician to fix.
Permits were pulled for all of that work though, right?
Yeah.
Permits. Again, let me just make a suggestion. This is just a suggestion that
Yeah.
you're talking about. There's not any good construction people in the area. I worked in construction for 40 and a half
A few.
years. Waterville has a lot of top quality people, but you hire people that are licensed and insured, they leave with the money, their insurance has to reimburse you. So make sure you do your due diligence. You hire licensed contractors and insured contractors, and then give you certificates of insurance before they step onto your job. That's where you protect yourself. These guys take your deposit and skate, guess what? It's what's called collectible. You can collect on them from the insurance company. So you have a degree of responsibility for yourself to make sure you cover yourself hiring these people. I'm not saying there's fly-by-night people out there. I just never dealt with them. I dealt with all reputable people in my lifetime, so.
It's really good points. I will do it.
Yep,
Yeah.
okay.
Here, I have a question for the general contractor. What's it gonna cost to bring it back up to compliance?
About $20,000.
20,000, your numbers are a lot different than townships. They got $111,860. What do you fix, just the water out of the swimming pool in the basement?
Just say 20,000 only for the foundation to
Talking
underpin
about
the
the whole
house.
house. I mean, the whole house.
The whole house is gonna be around, the budget are over $60,000.
60,000?
Yeah, the budget, yeah.
Do you agree with that, Brent?
No.
I see $111,000. My next question is the house worth that much money? To put that much money into it?
I don't want to demolish it. It's a nice house from inside. It's really nice house from inside.
There's nothing in it.
Huh?
There's nothing in it. It's got it.
But again, but everything can be repaired.
You lost me, okay.
I know you mean I'm gonna put so much money, but the house is not worth it. House is good for it. Like, yeah, I will deal with all the issues.
You know, I'm gonna more set to go with what Brett's telling me is gonna cost about $111,000. You're saying 60,000. I think you're gonna do a hack job on it. I don't see why I think it was wrong with you.
I had a company to do nearly 2 days work. The guy was driving a Range Rover, and basically he was asking me for $10,000 for doing nothing. It didn't go
Wait, you stop. I already heard all the, how you got ripped off and everything. What are we gonna do to fix this right now? I understand you got ripped off.
Fix what?
Never mind.
I think, first of all, we will fix the footing to satisfaction to the code. I mean, this is the main thing now because it's dangerous. It's also, when we started excavating, we saw that all the house need to be fixed, all the footing, all around the house to be fixed. After that, when we fix that, then we'll start the bricks that are falling from especially, we will take them out and put new, after we do the footing, we'll have a brick ledge so we can do new bricks there. Then the interior, there is electrical work to be done. And some plumbing, they started some plumbing and electrical. We will do that, and of course, drywall will be after that, insulation and drywall. I think $60,000 to $70,000 is a good number to fix the house.
But just if you get a bid on mold eradication, by any chance?
We've done already. I got
You got a bid on that?
I was reported from a company, technical company about the mold and also the asbestos and everything.
Okay.
There's no asbestos in the house, it's free, and also the mold is, everything is out.
Okay, and you have HVAC people that look at the ductwork. I mean, typically when houses are mothballed,
And this guy
ductwork
will
rots.
have to clean at least to bring a company to clean and give us certification that the ducts are clean.
So when you get done with this, what do you expect to do with it? You gonna rent it out or what?
I'm going to be, this particular house is going to be my home. Yeah, this is my plan.
You said that the footings are really bad. Is your floor level or is it sagging?
I think only the front only.
The front is sagging, the rest of the house, I think Robert and they know that the rest of the house, only in the front there was a big problem and you can see it. But when we tried to fix, we were thinking that there is some leak coming from the walls. But when we excavated, we discovered it's not 42 inches footing. So that's when the big thing started about the footing. So everything must be done.
This house is nearly 50 years old, and I'm sure most houses in Waterford would around that time were built that way. And the city I started to dig around the house. If I didn't do digging around the house, no one will discover that. It was my bad luck. But it's okay, I'm okay because we discovered an issue. Issue need to be fixed. The house is dangerous, as you said, and I agree with the city, and what I'm going to be dealing with it. I got everything in place, I got the people to do the work, I got the budget for it, and I'm okay, and I'm back. I'm going back to Europe very soon, and my next visit to Europe is supposed to be in 3 months from now. So I'm here.
But again, like I said, you've owned the house since 2012 and done absolutely nothing.
This is the third batch of contractors
I
that
understand
do the work.
It started in 2017.
No. I started even in 2012 with somebody who partially fixes the roof. The roof was in a bad shape. He repairs the roof, and we did some work inside. He started the work inside, and then I had to go back to Canada, and he moved out of the state to another state. And when you face this kind of thing, and it just makes you like wonder why people do such things. Now you give me a good idea now is to make sure they have insurance. So the first one I will check is insurance is going to be salary.
License and insured. It must be the contractor, before anybody hire a contractor, it must be licensed and must be insured.
I do have a question for our building official. Mr. Ettman hired an engineer who gave him a report that was limited only to the exterior that he could see without doing tests or doing anything really but field measurements and visual inspections. But in his report, he did say that he's suggesting helical piers. Do you have any idea what helical piers cost?
Quite a bit, as far as that house, no, I don't know. Depends on the ground conditions, depends on how deep they have to go, the size of the foundation.
how, I said how close they are together, 6 foot centers, 8 foot centers, you know, whether they're gonna put grade beams between to carry it, or load beams to carry the weight or not. But again, they said, you guys have done an evaluation on this, and I'm just looking, how many square feet is that house? It's probably in there, but
1360.
1360.
Yes.
Okay.
If I may, Rob and myself, within the last 2 years, have met with Mr. Etman on 2 separate occasions, had the same discussion on the house, the amount of money he's gonna put into it, the condition that it's in, and it hasn't moved forward. And even prior to that, he asked for a list of the contractors, and we gave him a list of all licensed contractors in Waterford. He was going off the list, and we were receiving calls from contractors wondering about bidding the job. So that's been 2 or 3 years ago. The condition of the house has remained the same. He hired the contractor that he has now. Mr. Simpson wrote him a citation because of the condition. He didn't show up for the second hearing, and there was a show cause that was entered with the court system that he didn't show up for the hearing. So it's not moving forward. The house is near Waterford Mott. The police department's been over there numerous times. Kids are hanging out in the house, and it's a dangerous situation. And the house also is condemned. We explained to Mr. Etman that since it's condemned, he's got to meet today's code. He's got to meet the energy code, egress window requirements, and the house has to meet today's current code for a new house.
And I question your sincerity, because you've owned this house for 6 years and you haven't been able to even get the exterior fixed.
I was sick, and anybody can get sick at any time, and I have no other, I don't have a son or someone to be here on my behalf, and anybody can get sick at any moment, and he has to stop to take care of his health first.
But over a 6-year period of time, I would expect to see more action than we have seen with this project.
From inside, lots of work being done. The house had mold inside, being cleaned out the house. Also, lots of repair done inside the house. That's why I can walk into the house now. When I built the house, it was a mess. But now it's the house.
Still a mess.
But I can fix that. But again, when anybody gets sick, you have to quit. And I did quit. And now I fixed myself first. And then I will fix the house. I cannot fix the house and die next to it. And no one will do that. I am okay now. I will do the house. And I will say within very short period of time, I was talking to the contractor and he said, we will start as early as we get the permits to go ahead.
If I can ask Brent, is this house still open? I went by and one of them had open windows and I can't remember if it was this one. This one is boarded up.
And for the record, Mr. Etman owns another vacant house. I think he bought it around the same time. It's on Pine Acre Lake, right around the corner. No work's been done on that one as well.
The other house, I would say the plumbing was done, electricity was done, the house was painted from inside, and the only thing now is the exteriors. And when I went to you, the guy stopped and said, even he called him today to come to finish the work from outside. And everything, the city asked me to cut the trees, we cut the trees. Everything he asked me to do, I did.
I think we talked a lot of things. What I suggest, it's your decision, of course. Give him like period of time to fix those issues. I know he's late. I know he's in 6 years. I mean, from the date that he took it, he's willing to keep the house. To give him like 3 months from now to correct everything, if that's possible. That's my suggestion. I didn't even talk to him about it. That's what my suggestion, so that he will try to comply with the help of the city officials. I mean, to try to fix all the points that we are talking about.
The time period to fix the house, it will depend on the contractors. Maybe they finish it in a month, depend on them and their time. When you hire someone, you cannot push them. Okay, when I push one of them, one day he said, oh, it is cold outside, I cannot work outside. So sometimes the weather condition, it makes people stop working. So I don't know if 3 months will be enough to finish both of them to be like up to code or not. But I will try to do my best to get them as soon as possible.
Okay, there's a problem here, because if we give you, quote, a realistic time period to finish this project, and it doesn't get done, then you're gonna have how many dollars invested in that, and now we're gonna tear it down? And you dump, say like you're gonna get to do it for 60, you dump 50,000 into it, and you're not done within that time period, and then that's
I will make sure first to get the contractor insurance to make sure they will do the job. Hopefully nothing will happen. Like in one instance, we had bad weather conditions. The contractor stopped working, and when I asked him, why don't you work? I cannot do the work. It's cold and rain, it's snowing. It's not something. It's in my hand. To do it with my own hand, I will do it both of them in a month. But you depend on others.
Okay. The foundation is one of the things. There's obviously multiple, you said 5 out of 9. Have you looked into what it's going to cost to fix?
Yeah,
Well, have you gotten any hard numbers?
I got.
You knew this year it was today, right?
I already got numbers for the foundation, and I will do a visit. I got the cash for it.
That's the foundation. I'm referring to the rest of the work that you're talking about.
This will be done. It's a house, and I'm trying to fix a house. It's good to fix a house. It's easy to demolish a house, and I'm trying to fix it to make it livable. And I'm not coming to ask the city, please give me money to help me to fix the house. I am paying from my pocket money to fix the house, to make it livable, to make it a nice house. I know some others, they come to the city to help them. I'm not asking for financial help to fix the house. I have the cash, but I need people to help me to do it.
Right, but in the meantime, the house is creating problems with kids.
No kids, I've never seen kids around. The house is still, it is closed. Doors are locked. The engineer himself, he said the house is locked, they couldn't get inside. How come kids will get inside? Yeah, when I went the other day, I was unable to get inside the house. How come his house is open? This report,
But you haven't gotten actual estimates for all of the other work, have you? Real numbers?
Yes, I have. I figured out the cost. I know how much it's gonna cost me. I have the cash for it, and I'm ready to go.
But you didn't bring any of that with you tonight.
Like what?
What it's going to cost, estimates, etc.
Here is the foundation. Chris is going to be doing.
That's the foundation. Again, I'm not talking about the foundation.
No.
I'm referring to the inside of the house, everything else that needs to be done.
No, it's already. I paid some people to do the work.
Understood. And they took your money and left.
I will try to get them back. If not, I will find others.
But you still don't know how much that's going to be.
I know roughly how much.
How can you determine how much it's going to be?
Yeah,
Do you have
based
any
on
drawings?
No, I know the plumbing, what's needed. I know the estimate I got from different companies from the plumbing. I know the estimate
The
that.
building department's going to need drawings that they can give you a permit for. You have no drawings to show?
It's already been submitted. I got permits before for all of this. I have permits. I have a permit for electricity, for plumbing, for fix the interior of the house, for even fix the window outside, and I bought permit for all of this. And people submitted, they were here with me.
Well, I guess my concern is it's kind of difficult to establish a budget if you don't have any drawings to use for estimating.
That's existing.
Sorry?
Because it's existing, they didn't need it.
You need structural drawings for that new foundation to repair it. You can't just go in there and try to get a permit without it. How are you going to do that?
We're going to focus now on Scott Lake Road house. Other house we got a draw, we had a design what needs to be done exactly for the foundation. But for this house, we got this one from the engineer because before the city never raised an issue with the foundation for this house. This is the first time. When they raised an issue, after I started digging around the house, I got this from the engineer. If you need more from the engineer, I can just get him to look at and to give me more details about what needs to be done.
You should have brought some numbers in tonight.
Like,
this is what's gonna cost me to do the foundation, electrical, the plumbing, the roof, the driveway.
I only knew that.
But you're not bringing nothing, and you got one excuse right after another.
I only knew that this about the meeting on Friday. or Thursday night.
This is the
When
first
he
time
came,
to know.
he was in Europe, I never talked to him for a long time.
Okay,
But that's probably one of the reasons why you see nobody at the house there, because you've been in Europe all the time. You know, I gotta ask you one question.
I wasn't in Europe having fun. I was getting treatment from a serious illness, and thank God I'm still alive, and I'm good. I'm good now.
We understand that, we understand your else, we do understand that, and I'm glad you're feeling better, that's good. But again, back here, we represent an entire municipality, and the residents don't like this, we don't like this, and nothing's happened for, basically, that I can see for 6 years, and some of the work that's been done in there, permits have not been pulled to do it. So again, like I said, it's just that there's nothing there to lead me to believe that anything's gonna be any different.
It will be different this time. For number one, I am here. Number two, I have the budget now. Whatever it takes, I will pay for it. Number three, I will be careful now with selecting who will come to do the work.
You know, your engineer in the second before last paragraph made a little note that and asked you to decide if it's worth to proceed with this or demolish it. You haven't evaluated the cost of redoing the house at all.
Even in my profession, I'm a dentist. To do extraction and to take out teeth is easy, but to repair and to fix a little bit difficult and cost money. To fix it costs money, so.
But you have to prove what
It's
the cost is
easy.
gonna be, you come here with nothing.
I just heard about this just a couple of days ago. I have arrived here on the 6th. I went to the house. I was really shocked. Who I met Chris in front of the house. It was the first time to see the snow on the door about the foundation. But I know that, again, whatever amount of money, I am ready for it. It is not good. I am not going to, even I'm not going to go to the bank. I have the money to pay for it.
One more quick question. When you saw the notice just the other day or whenever, who did you contact right away to find out what was going on?
I talked to Chris and
Did anybody call the township?
He phoned the city. He said he phoned the city.
Who did? When?
Chris.
And you called approximately? And when was this roughly? Just yesterday? Day before?
It was Friday after 4 o'clock.
Friday after 4.
That's when we met, probably met all. We met at that time.
Okay.
Immediately called, I don't know.
So I have another question. There was a reference made to the building being open and people, children specifically being inside. Have the police been called out there? Have there been signs of trespass?
We're aware of 4 times that the police department's been called out as recently as 9/5 of this year.
Can you answer for this?
5 days ago.
Yeah, yes, sir.
When I went there, I couldn't get into the house because I don't have the keys and door locked. And I put new doors for the house to make sure it is safe and no one can get in. I put new doors on the front and in the back, and I got even 2 locks for each door, and all windows are locked, and no one can get into the house, even whatever.
The police found people in there or found evidence of people that have been in?
Yes, I believe that they have found that there is no people inside the structure.
So it's a lot like those medicine jars. You can't open them yourself, but the kids sure can.
No, there's 2 locks for each door. There's 2 keys for each door, how come? And the engineer couldn't get in, the one who would do the inspection. I couldn't get in, and Chris tried to get in, he couldn't. And then how is it?
They could have pulled the board off the front. That's a typical.
If this happened, if you go on vacation anywhere, somebody can open your house. What will you do?
Exactly.
I cannot control other people's kids. I cannot just sit by the door fighting everybody, please don't come by. This is the police job to make the community safe.
It's the police job to make the community safe, but if you eliminate these unsightly, unsafe structures, now the police are looking at a vacant lot, they're telling the kids to quit playing in the sand.
What I did, I made sure the house is sealed from everywhere, doors are locked, and I got a small gate outside for the fence, but the kids can jump. Again, if you go on vacation, what will you do with your house?
have my kids come by and check it, have my neighbors check it, keep an eye out.
My
on it.
neighbor
That's what I do when I go
called
on vacation.
me one day and she said she saw somebody walking around the house. I said, "Who? Can you give me description?" She said, "Somebody was walking around the house." And a few days later, somebody sent me a letter saying he wants to buy the house. He was looking at it to buy it. And I had few offers, people want to buy this house in particular. People, when they go there to check the house, they go around, the neighbor think maybe there are some people want to get into the house. And I don't think they are dangerous. But kids, I haven't seen any kid there. I should get camera or something. But I've never seen any evidence anybody got into the house.
Hey, Brent, when you inspected the interior of the house, how did you get in? How did you get in the house? Was it open?
It was open. Other than the last 6 or 8 months, it's been open on a regular basis.
Just walked right through the front door,
That's
beside
correct.
Yes. I noticed you got rodent and animal feces throughout the interior of the house there.
I've never seen this. I've never seen I didn't go to the house this time because the house is locked and sealed. How can I get into the? I had to ask Salim to give me a copy. He got me a copy yesterday for the keys to get into the house.
I just asked the inspector, he could walk right in.
I
don't know how,
since
but he walked right in.
6 months ago, the inspector was there, brought down.
we
So there were people working.
we've changed the doors. I've changed the doors, the back and the front. Already, I have the doors.
The date on this report that you gave us from AID and Human Services is May 15th
May 15th.
of this year.
When I took
Yeah, this engineer came on, but he was in Europe. I couldn't contact him. I emailed him the report. Even he didn't pay the fees for that because he wasn't there.
Okay, but this is 4 months ago, and
Yeah.
no action has even been taken on this, so
Because he disappeared that.
you haven't spoken to him for 4 months?
No.
I did. I've seen even few messages there. Please get the contractor to start right away. He said, I am looking for a reasonable trustable company to do the work because we would like to make the city happy by doing good work. He said, I don't want to get anyone to do the work and city will come back to say the work is not good. So we have to keep looking for someone who is able to do the work. Especially this house, we need really someone professional who knows how to do it, not just any contractor.
No, I understand all that, I just don't understand the time delay. That's what I don't understand.
I cannot order a contractor to work if I cannot pay him. If it's not there, how can I pay a contractor?
It's not your house, it's his house.
I've asked Salim to find me some company and to transfer the money to him at any time he can find someone to start the work. He got me someone and the price was very low. I had a doubt about it. Very much. I said, no way, this is the cost. I asked him to find me a good licensed contractor who has experience in doing this kind of work. And once you get somebody, the money will be there within 1 hour.
This really isn't about money. This is about keeping our neighborhoods safe and eliminating blight in our community. And the proximity of this house to the high school adds an extra dimension to the problem we have here. You're out of town, you're an out of country landlord. We have problems with those types of properties all the time because you're not here. You're not vested in our community. You say you're going to move in there, but it's been 6 years.
No, this time, one of the factors, as I said, is the issue. And it made me, it changed all my plans. But now I'm okay, I am back, and I need to get it done. And I'm hoping to get the permits hopefully by tomorrow, and then we'll start it this week.
If I may, just for the record, we talked about the foundation 8 months ago. We talked to the builder about the foundation, the core foundation. It was exposed by the waterproofing foundation to verify that it wasn't the proper depth. And also, the township's been cutting the lawn and other expenses.
Yeah, the last time I was by there, the weeds actually exceeded the height of the fence. And again, nothing's getting done, and I hear all the reasons why nothing's getting done. But this gentleman hired this engineering. If you really read this engineering report good, especially the last paragraph, the summary, I mean, it just basically, look, you're reading this is going to be an astronomical cost to rehabilitate this house to get it back to today's building code standards. And again, like I said, with mold eradication and a lot of other problems, like I said, it's just, I don't see it happening. I don't see it. And then it goes on to say there, it's not going to come cheap. It needs to be done, you know, in a timely manner. There's more deterioration and the extensive environmental and structural problems will result, you know. So again, like I said, it's just.
I was, when I looked for contract to do the work, somebody gave me to start 6 months from now, I said no. Somebody gave me 3 months from now, I said no. I found someone who will start right away when we get the permit to start. This is what I'm looking for, because I don't want to wait, I want to finish it, I want to get on with it. It's just kind of headache for me.
Okay, but again, we're headed into that time of year when you say these people don't work because it's too cold, and they don't work because it's too wet or too, and again, I worked construction for 40 and a half years outside, and as sweet as I am, I never melted from the rain or the snow, so that said, you have to work in some of those conditions, so but I was being a little bit smart aleck there, and if it's offensive, I'm sorry, but the bottom line is, you work outside, this gentleman will tell you he's been outside all of his life. If you wait for ideal conditions, you're gonna get about 30, 35 hours. It's either too cold, too hot, too windy, too wet. You know, it's always something if you wanna look for them. If not, you just dig in and get it done. So, but again, we're coming into that time of year where, again, the weather's not ideal. So it just, that again could be another problem to lengthen the project up.
So just give me enough time, and I will start. At least just to start, and then I will make sure the contractor will not stop. If one day is rainy, one day is cold, and they cannot do the work for some reason, I mean, it will be a little bit delayed. That's when you can, so just weather condition. Flights canceled because of weather. One day I had to stay for a week somewhere in a city because of weather condition. So we have to also to look at this factor as well. So just give me enough time, and I will get it done. I promise. Next time you will see my face, just say hello and say thank you.
Brent, Rob, anything else you'd like to add?
I would just like to say, the purpose of this meeting tonight was to allow the owner, his representatives, to show cause as to why the board shouldn't enter in or enforce the order that was made by the hearing officer. I've heard nothing here that, in my opinion, would change the mind of the board and cause you to not execute the draft resolution, which would enforce the hearing officer's order to demolish the structure. Having said that, I would ask that you take action to do so specifically. On or before October 1st, 2018, the owner delivers to the building department a full and complete application with all required fees, plans, and utility disconnection clearances, or written proof that applications for such disconnections have been made by a qualified licensed contractor to lawfully demolish and remove the main building and driveway at 1761 Scott Lake Road. With the application, we are also seeking to obtain a copy of a written agreement between the owner and said contractor that stipulates the demolition will commence within 30 days of the issuance of a permit and be completed within 45 days of permit issuance, which is consistent with what the hearing officer order is.
Anybody else?
Any further questions? Mr. Wong?
Yes, sir.
Can you address the board briefly?
Yes, sir.
First, a couple questions for staff. If this building were to be rehabilitated and brought up to code, what specific permits would be needed? Plumbing, I assume?
Building, plumbing, electrical, mechanical, all trades, yes.
And Mr. Marinsky, what you outlined for the board's consideration, is that all provided in the final majors building resolution presented?
Yes.
As indicated in the staff report found by the hearing officer and confirmed by Mr. Gibson, the estimate, his estimate to rehabilitate this property is first of all, have these gentlemen identified themselves officially for the record?
Not officially, they have.
They should do that.
Gentlemen, if you would,
Yes, it's Malik Ekman,
and you are the,
owner.
And his address in Canada is what?
It's, shall I say? It's 1002 125 Fifth Avenue North, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. It's 7K685.
The other gentleman's name and address?
My name is Salim Jiddu, Salam Jiddou, and I live in West Bloomfield, 7136 Timberview Trail, West Bloomfield, Michigan 48322.
And his relationship with the owner?
I'm a builder. Builder?
licensed,
Yes. State of Michigan? Yes. Yes, sir.
Questions that I think would be relevant to the owner or his building. Do they have a specific plumbing contractor lined up to do the work? Do they have a specific electrical contractor lined up to do the work? Do they have a specific mechanical contractor lined up to do the work? Do they have a builder lined up to do the foundation and other work? And for each of those, what is the estimated, what is the cost that has been quoted to them to do that work?
I kind of thought we covered that earlier. We were looking at the cost of what it was, and he said around $60,000. So,
I
yeah.
heard the gentleman say he has a budget.
Right.
The budget has nothing to do with what contractors will actually charge.
I understand that.
And the reason I mention this is under the state building, state housing code, there's a presumption that arises that when the cost to rehabilitate exceeds the state equalized value of the building, there's a presumption that the building should be demolished.
Right.
The opportunity for the owner tonight was to demonstrate why it should not be demolished. And that would be the best evidence that could be presented to you to try to rebut that presumption. I haven't heard it, but there should be an opportunity one last time for them to present that if they have it. And if they don't have it, then they would need to have that information. Based on what I've heard so far, I would concur with Mr. Warinsky that based on your record this evening, you've not been presented with sufficient evidence to not enforce the building recommendation.
That's right. It's asked earlier about a set of plans to rehabilitate the house with, because without something to reference to, there's nothing to reference the cost to.
Shall I answer his last question about the cost and with the permits? I already had the permit for electricity, for plumbing, for the foundation of the house, for all I have. All we had to submit this all before to the city, so I have an idea how much it's gonna cost. Yeah, with the increase of the cost for the last year, I am adding maybe 10-20% more than what the city already got from last year. So I already bought the permit last year and I have an idea. And I just heard about this one 3 days ago. Okay? And I know the electrician is the same, he's still waiting to fix the foundation first. I will not charge him anymore. The guy will do the installation. I just talked to him today and he is ready to start once we get the foundation done first. I got the estimate for just to fix the foundation also from the foundation company. Just I will say today, because this is new for us. So I am working on it. And I'm sure I will not get stuck in the middle and say, okay, I cannot do the work when I don't have a budget. This is number two. Number two, the cost to fix a house, it can go like hundreds of thousands. It depends on how I use the money. We need to fix it according to city code. I don't want to put marble in it. I don't want to do mahogany doors outside. Maybe the 120 or so, this one to get marble and mahogany than to get this fancy, expensive luxury stuff. No, we're gonna stick to the basics to satisfy the city requirement and city code, and to get the house to be livable and a good house. Okay. Okay, I can put, no, I can put $500,000 in this house, but it's not worth it to put this amount of money. I'm gonna fix it to be livable, safe, for someone to live in it, safe, no health hazard, and structure hazard, to have a safe house to live in. Okay, you can make a kitchen and you can build.
We know that we're not talking about building council here, but he said earlier it has to be brought up to the 2018, not local code, state code.
It will. I will make sure we get up.
Oh, it has to be. You don't have an option on that. It has to be that.
Yes. That's why I'm working on it now.
I understand you're working on it, but again, this is all stuff that should have been, and I don't want to hear about going to Europe or anything. I understand all that, but that's why you should have had. So this has been an issue since 2012. You said you were working on it in 2012, and it still isn't done. That's the point. That's where we're at right now. We don't need to talk about the other stuff anymore.
And
2012 to 2018, zip, zero, zilch. Not it. It's been a problem for the township, and we're not going another 6 years into it. We can't go into another.
I don't think I will move for another 6 years. I don't think even I will move for another 6 months. I'm hoping to get it done as soon as possible.
But hoping is not a guarantee.
I am sure it will. It will. I can, unless I cross the street and I got hit by a car and I'm dead. I am working on getting it done as soon as possible.
Okay.
This house is causing me lots of headache.
Attorney Dover, you got something else you want to say?
You were provided an engineer letter that was dated in May. I understand that these folks came in and talked to the folks last Friday.
Yeah.
Was that letter provided to you then?
No one came in and talked to us. We have not seen any reports. The only conversation we had last Friday was with their presumed or assumed new builder that's going to work on the foundation, and he was calling to inquire about the process, where we're at. So we have seen no reports, no estimates, no quotes, no new permits, no new permit applications have been submitted for us to review, to issue. It has been quiet for the better part of a year. 2017, or July 2017, is when the permits that the gentleman is referring to were issued. Those were issued, some work started, and then it went dormant, and it was vacated for a better part of 6 months. We rescinded those permits and have not heard anything from them since until Friday afternoon.
So mechanical, electrical, and or plumbing were attached to that building permit?
All of those permits were rescinded.
All right, okay.
The engineer letter does not have cost estimate in it?
Does that have any cost estimate whatsoever?
No.
Just references?
Just that the owner say that he has a cost estimate for the foundation, but he's not provided that to you.
There's been no numbers for that, nothing whatsoever, so.
When I submit to get the permits, I only will see all the figures. All the amount of money will be put in each, like for foundation, for plumbing, for electricity. Again, we did last year for everything except the foundation, because the foundation was not an issue last year. It's an issue now. When we submit to get the permit for the foundation, we will see the amount of money that will be put in.
Sir, you should have brought the estimates in tonight, because you might not make it for a permit.
My point is, he's sitting here telling you he has an estimate for the foundation, he's not giving you that information, that's his choice.
Right.
I need it in writing.
Decision on what's on your record.
Right.
I need it in writing. I have a figure now. I was giving the amount, but you need it in writing. I will get to you in writing when I submit this permit.
But again, this was the stuff that you needed to bring to the meeting tonight. We have to make a decision tonight.
Do you want to hear the figure now? How much she's going to be doing to underpin the house?
The entire project.
The entire project. All I just heard about this problem when I arrived last Friday.
Again, but again, you've had the house since 2012.
Okay.
You've had adequate time to get drawings, do evaluations, and get pricing together. It's a moot point. We're done talking about
if you allow me, I can bring from my bag all the copy of all the permits with the amount of money that was bought last year. This year I have to submit again. I have to get a new like paper from contractors, from all of them, with the amount of money.
I understand the process.
Yeah.
I understand how it goes. That should have been done and brought here tonight, and it wasn't, so that's where
I
we're
just
at.
arrived on Friday. I have to get everything done in 2 days.
That's where we're at.
Today, I just was able to find the contractor. I talked to the other guy.
But again, we've been through all that. We understand. We don't need to talk about that anymore. We're beating a dead horse. The bottom line is, you needed to come here tonight prepared, or you should have contacted the Township. Have any questions for Rob or Brent? Okay.
I'll make a motion to adopt a final dangerous building resolution for the property at 1761 Scott Lake Road, Waterford, Michigan, tax parcel number 13-14-476-042, affirming the dangerous building hearing officer's order for demolition.
No support.
Any further discussion on that subject? Okay, this is a roll call vote.
Joliet, Thomas,
Yes.
Birch,
Yes.
Wall,
Yes.
Candelaria, yes. Bartolotta,
Yes.
Fosco.
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you.
So, but what should I do now? What's the next step for me? What is my?
The demolition order has been enforced.
So
It's coming out.
the resolution says that you, as owner of the property, on or before October 1st, shall comply with this final order for demolition. And if you have not complied with this final order on or before October 1st, and no appeal of this final order is pending in Oakland County Circuit Court, then the supervisor is authorized to take the actions necessary to accomplish the required demolition.
And if we have to pay for the demolition, it goes on your tax bill.
So if I want to appeal this order,
The Oakland County Circuit Court is your court of appeal. Oakland County Circuit Court, 1200 North Telegraph. Pontiac.
Next up, we have dangerous building hearing 818 Tyrone Avenue.
Yes, Mr. Supervisor, once again, this is a hearing to allow the owner or his representatives to show cause as to why the board should not consider enforcing the decision and order that the dangerous building hearing officer made at the dangerous building hearing that occurred July 18th of this year. Again, the building can be deemed dangerous if it is found to have any one of the 9 conditions cited in Chapter 4 of the ordinance. Staff determined that the building met 9 out of the 9 conditions, and after hearing all testimony during the dangerous building hearing, the hearing officer deemed the building dangerous and ordered its demolition. Notice of the hearing officer's decision and order was mailed to the owner and posted on site in accordance with the ordinance. The order established deadlines for the owner to commence and complete tasks associated with the order demolition. To date, the owner has failed to comply with any of them, and that is why the matter is before you this evening. The owner was notified of this hearing by first-class mail, and the building was posted in accordance with the ordinance. Mr. Gibson and I, again, are here to present the presentation that was given to the dangerous building hearing officer if necessary. Otherwise, we're here to answer any questions. For this particular one, we have heard nothing from anybody representing either the ownership or any vested interest for this property.
Rob, is anybody living in that house?
Not
See,
that
when
I'm
you sent the
aware of.
notice, it's the same address, I'm just curious if it's being occupied.
There has been no one living in the house. The owner has not been in the house, even though that's the mailing information that we had. Water's been turned off since December 2017, and we're not aware of anybody actually having the right to be inside that house. Again, the police department's been called out to the specific property at least 4 times since we've condemned the house and been involved in the dangerous building during the process. Just as recent as 8/31, when we went out and posted for tonight's hearing, there were 2 windows that were broken out, which would allow access to vagrants to enter in and out of the property.
This house also is sort of in the general vicinity of the high school. Adding another layer of complication.
Now, Robert, where do we stand on taxes? Have they paid their property taxes or anything?
Looks like property taxes are current. No response on the latest. Oh, I'm sorry, no response to the latest hearing notices that went out, but property taxes are current.
Okay, and the notices are mailed to the same address as the property tax bills, correct?
Yes, they're all sent out certified and regular U.S. mail.
Is there a mortgage on this house? And maybe a mortgage company is paying the tax?
I don't believe so.
When you get in that picture, there is 16 and a half years old, so I mean, it's not.
Yeah, that is an assessing photo taken in 02. If you wanted to go through the PowerPoint, I'll have more current. The last few pictures are pictures that were taken 8/31. These were taken 8/10, 17.
And the water's been off for 9 months.
Yes,
When did the water get turned off?
December of 17.
I did drive by it the other day and it is open. There's a window.
Yeah. When you go underneath it, that's again, it's just, it's gotta be, sort of.
These are the pictures that were taken just a few days ago.
And you can just see what's there, not knowing what's rotted in the infrastructure and stuff, and the subfloor joists underneath that. It just, your estimate there of what it would cost to rehabilitate that, I think is very generous. I think it could even be more than that. That house, what is it? Like 32 by 20 or something?
So it's just over 670 square foot, with about a 330-foot attached garage.
I'm guessing the township's taking care of the lawn, et cetera.
We've been involved with compliance issues for a while on this property.
Okay.
Now, if we were to order demolition and there's a mortgage on the house, would we be responsible for what's left on the house?
No, we wouldn't be responsible for it, even as far as.
Says mortgage payment, what's owed on the house.
We had the same thing with Luella. We had to get that cleared to the mortgage company. There was a mortgage on that house over there, but we had to get it cleared to the mortgage company to do the demolition on that.
We would copy, if there is a mortgage on it, any order or resolution that you guys pass tonight, that will be recorded, Oakland County Registry of Deeds as well. So anybody had an interest that does a search would see that this order was, or this resolution was passed and an order for demolition was taken.
If there was a mortgage on the house, it would be a person lien on the property, superior to anything the township might.
Correct.
Order the demo, carry out the demo, and certify it once tomorrow.
This is the CDBG district, correct?
I don't believe this is.
It isn't.
But I'll double check.
Okay.
I think that perhaps it is, but I don't believe it's.
We've allocated funds to the general fund for this too, though. Okay. Okay. Anybody have any further questions for Rob or Brent?
just like to speak really on behalf of the people who live near this house, just like the other one. For this to be in your backyard, or what you see out your front window and your kids playing in there, it's inexcusable. And the people have apparently abandoned the place, so it's something we need to deal with.
And again, like I said, it's just, you can look at the picture from 2002 and that the house needed work on it then, you know, even a coat of paint would have gone a long way, but again, it's just, it sits and it sits and it sits for long periods of time. And it just, again, it's tough to deal with. And like I said, with it being open underneath there in the back, there's gotta be raccoons and stuff living in there. But the house was full of animal feces when you went through it. All the garbage and stuff that was in there.
There was a lot of garbage. I don't remember seeing an abundant amount of animal feces, but I can only imagine that there's some sort of infestation in there.
Underneath the house.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus it's open.
Open underneath and open frequently.
Okay, anybody else?
We sent a notice of condemnation and a correction order in August of 17. Was that notice received, or was it returned to you at that time?
If I remember right, the owner actually called me at that time. He was living in a campground in Alabama and was unable to return and answer any correction tasks that were cited in that order. That's the last I've heard from him.
So he was aware at that time.
He was aware of the condemnation. I cannot say one way or the other if he was aware of the dangerous building.
But he was aware there were issues with the structure and the township was looking into.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we need a motion.
Mr. Wall?
Yes, sir.
Just for the record, if Barbara is here representing the owner or anyone with interest.
Is there anybody here for 818 Tyrone Street? Okay,
I'll make a motion to adopt the final dangerous building resolution for 818 Tyrone Avenue, tax parcel ID number 1324306006, affirming the dangerous building hearings office, dangerous building hearing officer's decision in order to demolish.
support. Any further discussion on that? This is a roll call vote.
Birch.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes?
Camilleri, yes. Frasca.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Bartola.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Next up, the sale of the fire truck, 1991.
I'll make a motion to approve the sale of the 1991 fire truck at the fire chief's request.
Ms. Camilleri?
Yes,
As surplus property.
as surplus property. Thank you.
Support.
Any further discussion? Okay, it's a roll call vote.
Camilleri, yes. Thomas.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes?
Bartola.
Yes.
Birch.
Yes.
Frasca.
Yes.
Next up, we have the 2018 asphalt construction / repair contract. Oh, hold on, back up, I did a jump there. Next up, we have a proclamation for promotion of Mr. Kyle Safran to DPW GIS technician. Gentlemen, how are you tonight?
Doing fine, sir. How about yourselves?
Good.
So I'll make a motion to approve the promotion of Mr. Kyle Safran to DPW GIS technician.
Support. Any further discussion on this?
So it looks like he's got some good experience in this.
He's got the education, he worked for us as a part-time GIS tech, and then hired into the collections department for the DPW, and has continued improving his work. So, yes, I think this would be a good appointment to the position just recently vacated by Sarah Mitchell.
Yep. And again, in-house training is, like I said, he's on our equipment. He's working with our system, that's good.
You couldn't make it tonight down at the line.
Well, he's tough then too, so, okay. Okay. Anybody else have any questions for? Okay, so your roll call vote.
Bartolotta?
Yes.
Wall?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
Birch?
Yes.
Fresca?
Yes.
Camilleri? Yes.
Okay. Next up is the 2018 asphalt construction repair contract. It is a lengthy one. Here I thought I found a mistake, and Dan from Attorney Dogry got that on Friday, so that's.
It was a math mistake, wasn't it?
It was already corrected, and I hadn't seen Jerry's correction yet, but yeah.
It was more of a typo.
Yes. Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve approve Asphalt Specialists Incorporated for the 2018 asphalt construction repair contract for a total price not to exceed $390,647.50.
Support.
Any further discussion?
I got a question, Russ. You only got one bid on this job?
That's correct.
Is there a reason? I mean, it's $390,000 is a lot of money.
Well, it is indeed a lot of money, and, I mean, obviously the contractors are pretty busy this time of year, but this was under our engineering estimate cost as well, so we're pretty comfortable with the pricing.
ASI done work here before?
Indeed,
That's
sir.
awesome.
We worked on our repairs for water and sewer pickups. They're a great contractor.
And again, like I said, they step up and bid it too, where you wait for the other ones, wait for the other ones, and guess what? We got our last bid, the asphalt plants are closed, and, you know, not yet, wait till next spring, but again, they're reputable, and they come in. How much was it under the allotted there?
About 20 or
23, 22, was it? Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was
I think you got
good.
Just 20%.
Yeah, from the engineer estimate.
Right.
That's not that uncommon.
So if we approve this tonight, they are gonna do this work this year?
Yes.
They'll finish this up this year? Okay.
That was another thing you guys checked to make sure before we committed to anything, correct? Okay.
Do they give us any type of warranties?
1 year warranty, I believe, is standard on asphalt projects.
1 year? The same thing for the roads too.
The roads make it a year now? Don't hold your breath.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Okay, anybody else? This will be a roll call vote.
Fresca?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
Bartolotta?
Yes.
Wall?
Yes.
Birch?
Yes.
Camilleri? Yes.
Who took the pictures?
We had that study done by Fleissig.
Oh, okay.
That was a different engineering company.
I don't think they missed anything.
They did not.
They did. I walked around here the other day looking at that, thinking, I was trying to find something that's good. And I wasn't knocking you earlier. The only way you can ever make a mistake is by doing something. The people that don't make mistakes, guess what? You don't do anything.
Well, they took those pictures while we were doing the curb and gutter repairs, so we had a bunch of asphalt cut out.
Yep.
Worked out nicely.
Yep. Yeah, you can see some of the forms from the concrete in some of the pictures you have too. Yep. Good job, Colin. Thank you. Next up, we have the proclamation for the 231st anniversary of the Constitution of the United States. So that must be word.
Can I read the proclamation?
Yes, ma'am, you may.
Okay. Whereas the Constitution of the United States of America, the guardian of our liberties, embodies the principles of limited government in a republic dedicated to rule by law. And whereas September 17th, 2018 marks the 231st anniversary of the framing of the Constitution of the United States by the Constitutional Convention. And whereas it is fitting and proper to accord official recognition to this magnificent document and its memorable anniversary, and to the patriotic celebrations which will commemorate it. And whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America, designating September 17th through 23rd as Constitution Week. Now therefore I, Gary Wall, by virtue of the authority vested in me as supervisor of the Charter Township of Waterford in the state of Michigan, do hereby proclaim the week of September 17th through the 23rd as Constitution Week, and ask our citizens to reaffirm the ideals the framers of the Constitution had in 1787 by vigilantly protecting the freedoms guaranteed to us through this guardian of our liberty. I'll make a motion that we adopt the proclamation celebrating the 231st anniversary of the Constitution.
Any further discussion on that? All in favor?
Roll call.
This is roll call.
Camilleri, yes. Wall?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
Bartolotta?
Yes.
Birch?
Yes.
Fresca?
Yes.
Okay. This brings us to the end of our agenda. We open it up to public comment. At this time, reminding if you have public comment, it'll be limited to 3 minutes, please. Get set up first. There you go.
Okay, now start the timer. I just wanted to publicly thank Light Point Church, Pastor Rick Bosnick, and their members for volunteering all their time, organization, planning that went on to the longest breakfast dinner. It was a great, successful event. It's a great event for Waterford Township, the fire department, the police department. Parks and Rec participated, and Waterford Schools participated. Just a great event. So.
It is great when people in the community step up, regardless of what the organizations are, to help and get, they're grateful and they give back to the community and they generate revenue to give back to the community and help the less fortunate. It doesn't get any better than that. Again, it was a wonderful event, John. Thank you. Is there anybody else? What's that? Yeah, I was counting under my breath.
He's always quick.
Anybody else? Okay.
So I will make a motion to go into closed session to discuss confidential attorney-client privileged opinion regarding DPW agreements. And that closed session will include DPW Director Russ Williams and Engineer Dan Stickle.
Support. Any further discussion on this? Okay, this is a roll call vote.
Wall?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
Fresca?
Yes.
Camilleri? Yes. Birch?
Yes.
Bartolotta?
Yes.
Okay, we have another one.
I'll also make a motion to go into closed session to discuss confidential attorney-client privileged opinion regarding the water tower lease and the rental rates for wireless users. And does that include anyone aside? And that would include DPW Director Williams.
Support.
Any further discussion on this? Okay, again, it's roll call vote.
Bartolotta?
Yes.
Birch?
Yes.
Camilleri? Yes. Fresca?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
Wall?
Yes.
Okay, we're entering closed session at 7:36.
And when we return from closed session, we will not be voting or anything. We'll close up the board meeting.
We may. We may. We may.
When we return from closed session, we may be voting on something.
something
Where's your money?
program like that.
She just wants to talk. She just wants to
Talk to the kids, but not to do or something, I don't know.
You were ready for a confrontation.
I'm sorry to hear that news. Terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't a good
I'm glad you told me that because we had in touch with her in the meeting. And it's starting to happen. And we're also starting to plan seminars. So we're
matters here.
delay a week or so.
Yes, I was a lot of her matters here. Yeah.
Well,
I think she needs to get out.
Get on, do stuff.
And get out. Okay, do it. Because she lost her mother. They all did. All this.
Okay.
I think if I can get her out of the house, you know, she wouldn't even go to church yesterday. You know.
We have a board meeting next week. Get her out. Talk with Stacy and the other person who had her earmarked for community position in that department. So I'll go get a word to her. And it's at the CIA building. I call it the CIA building because, you know, it makes me feel.
I don't think that's worried.
Yeah, it's Monday like at 5:30. I got that. I'll take care of that for you.
Okay.
Thanks for letting me know.
All right, thanks.
That's all right, you know. I didn't see Mr.
Camera got the mark,
I didn't even see him. Darn it. I wanted to go sit next to him.
Did you hear the little blow up they had at the last workshop?
Uh-uh.
He said something very remarkable.
Yeah, Gary's just about that. His fuse is about that long.
And he would comment on I don't know if he posted the video or not. I think he did post the video.
Yeah, he usually does.
Friday, by Friday. Well, it's not if, doesn't start. Supposed to. job or whatever, but it's what it is. Everybody knows that. That's what I told you about if you're gonna keep the money.
trying to catch up on my own messages and stuff.
Left my water bottle back here.
I know that, the scores. Hello.
Okay, a couple of motions here.
Okay, the first motion is to approve and authorize the township supervisor to sign the proposed installation services agreement with Ferguson Enterprises Incorporated for replacement water meter readers and other water system products and services, with this approval and authorization not to be construed as a waiver of any township claims, rights, or remedies against responsible parties for the meter readers to be replaced.
Okay. Any further discussion on this? Okay. This will be a roll call vote.
Yep. Birch.
Yes.
Bartlett.
Yes.
Frasca.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Camilleri. Yes. Motion carries. And the second motion is to approve the township attorney's proposed First Amendment to the lease agreement with T-Mobile Central LLC for a cell tower location at 984 North Cass Lake Road for a minimum of 5 years or a maximum of 25 years, with annual rent commencing at $36,500 a year.
Support.
Any further discussion on that? Okay, again, this is a roll call vote.
Frasca.
Yes.
Camilleri. Yes. Wall.
Yes.
Birch.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Bartlett.
Yes.
At what point does a multiplier come in there? Should that have been included?
It's provided in the lease and it's managed.
It is in the lease, okay, good, okay. And that's the same percentage every year?
Yes.
Okay, on the compounded amount?
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Support.
Any further discussion on that topic? Okay, all in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed? There are none.